I'm planning to build my SaaS server in C++ using the Drogon framework. I've never used Drogon before, but it looks promising. First step, build Drogon itself and tinker with some of their butt-ugly examples to make them look nice and presentable. At this point, devs everywhere will scream, "No, don't use C++ for a web app. Use Ruby on Rails. No, Next.js. Go."
Use Rust.
Shut up, everyone. A guy told me, use what I know if I want to go fast. And I know C++. Granted, that guy still uses PHP and jQuery, but let's try this out with C++, shall we? Besides, I've got an idea for a future app where using C++ might actually make sense. For now, let's see what Drogon can do. The first step is to build Drogon itself. I took one look at Drogon's installation instructions for Windows, which you can see right here, and decided, nah, screw it, I'll use Linux instead. That's what the app is going to run on anyway. Might as well start there right away. So I installed Ubuntu on Windows using Weasel 2 and fetched Drogon's code off GitHub. To say, building Drogon is easy with everything builds out of the box. There were a few compiler warnings, but otherwise very clean. The examples are nice and short. So here's their login demo, but ugly. As you can see here, this login demo, really ugly. And that's actually a good thing because it means that all the code that you see demonstrates how to use specific features. There's no additional fluff to wade through. It's very targeted. But a real SaaS app needs to look at least presentable, if not beautiful. Time to polish this turd. To make it look nice, we need to be able to serve static files such as images, our CSS style sheets, and possibly a little bit of JavaScript. And that's actually very easy. Basically a one-liner here, app. So set the Drogon apps document root to wherever your static files are. In my case, current directory, subdirectory static/public. Now, additionally, you might want to set the static file headers with a cache control line, which you can see here, set the max age, because otherwise the browser thinks that the files might change every time or will keep on reloading them. Unnecessary accesses. So apart from that, really easy. Next, I decided that I wanted to see the HTTP accesses being logged to the console. That's partially just for interest and partially for debugging. My first attempt didn't work, or partially worked. ChatGPT kept on feeding me garbage, and a few hours later, it still wasn't working right. What the heck is going on? Logging accesses is a basic feature. Why is this so hard? And then I spotted the solution. So buried within Drogon and lib inc Drogon plugins is a plugin called Access Logger, which sounds like exactly what I need, because it is what I need. So a little bit more work and a configuration file later, and I had logging working. So let's see, if I refresh the page here, you can see there was an access to the root URL. If I do a complete refresh, it gets the fav icon. And if I enter a username and password, you should see it accessing the login, yes, the login URL. And let's log out again, and you'll see it hitting the logout URL. So guys, documentation. The access logger should be in the documentation, especially in the getting started section. The next step of making it look nice is to add a CSS theme. So after searching the internet for a bit, I decided on gmx.css. Why? Because it's pretty compact. It's based on Google's Material Design 3, which I'm using elsewhere. And it's just plain CSS and maybe a bit of JavaScript. There are no additional build tools that I need or anything fancy. I can just download the CSS and JavaScript files, add them to my project, and away I go. And from there, it's basically just tweaking templates. So Drogon's templating system is called C++ Server Pages, or CSP. And it's basically HTML with some special tags in there to insert variables from the C++ code. And you can even run C++ code in the template itself. For example, here I'm setting the page title from the template. And then Drogon will take this, generate C++ code from it, and it gets compiled into the project, which is great for performance, but it sucks when you're tweaking templates because it takes time to rebuild. Now, Drogon does have the ability to dynamically rebuild the templates on the fly, but when I tried it out, it was a bit slow, and then the server would crash when using the new template. I don't know what I did, what was wrong there. I don't know what I did wrong, but it just didn't work right for me. Anyway, after a bit of work, I had a nice looking login screen. Everything looks nice. I even added a light and dark mode because you know how much developers love their dark mode. Look at that, fancy switching the image, background image as well. That's probably a bit extravagant, but at this stage I'm only playing. I can log in. Oh, got the password wrong. Anyway, that's all working nice. But is Drogon the right framework for my future SaaS backend? I say it's too early to tell at this point. So far, I've learned how to register URL handlers. So if we go back to the CPP file, you'll see here there's a handler registered for the root URL, for the logout, for the login URLs. I have learned how to serve static files with that single one-liner here. Where is it? Set document root. Oh, and adding the cache control settings. I have made the front end look nice, so I know how to do that. I know how to play with the CSP templating system. However, I haven't really touched a lot of other important subsystems, such as the page controllers for more complicated pages, filters, middleware, and database access. That's always a big component of a server app. So in order to answer that question, I need to experiment further by building an actual login system complete with proper user accounts in a database that you can sign up for. So it has a registration system as well. Interested in seeing me do that? Hit the subscribe button and the bell, and at some point the next video should appear up there. That's it for now. I'll see you next time.